A stormy night. Rain slashed against the windows. A pregnant woman, her belly heavy, clung to the rail and gasped for air. "Get off my bus, I'm not taking you," the driver barked, voice cold and sharp. She stumbled down the wet steps, knees hitting the sidewalk hard. People froze. Someone lifted a phone to record. A laugh, a cruel murmur. And then, engines roared. Headlights tore through the storm. A wall of motorcycles stopped in front of the bus, leather jackets gleaming with the emblem of a silver raven. The leader removed his helmet, piercing eyes fixed on her. "Get on. We'll get you to the hospital." But why had the driver thrown out a pregnant woman into the storm? And how did these bikers appear at the exact moment she needed them? The truth would leave everyone stunned. A small Pennsylvania town, just off the highway. Late autumn. Wet leaves glued to the sidewalks. Neon lights from a 24-hour diner flickering open in the drizzle. The snow had not yet come, but the rain was cold enough to cut into bone. Her name was Emily Carter, 28 years old, 8.5 months pregnant. She worked late shifts at the Riverside Diner, more than 3 bus rides from home. On her wrist was a braided bracelet with a silver raven charm, her husband Luke's gift. Luke had been a firefighter, the kind of man who always ran into the flames first. 2 years ago, he never came back from a tunnel blaze. Emily had never taken the charm off. Touching it was the only way to keep her heart steady. At the front of the bus sat Hank Collins, 55, graying hair under a faded cap. His hands shook slightly as he gripped the wheel. Around his wrist was a yellow cloth band with the words Gold Star stitched faintly. His eyes flicked to his watch over and over. At 8:45 p.m. his radio crackled. He muttered into it, low and shaky, words no one else heard. In the back, a young man in a hoodie and baseball cap cradled a bulky backpack. He lifted his phone, camera pointed at the aisle. When Emily rested her hand on her belly, he zoomed closer. Outside, trotting in the rain since the last stop, a soaked German shepherd followed the bus. Its name, carved on a leather collar, was Scout. The dog's eyes glowed steady, almost too calm in the storm. Inside Emily's coat pocket was a folded letter to her unborn daughter. "Your name is Hope. You are my hope." The doctor had warned her. Her blood pressure spiked dangerously, flashes of light clouding her vision. Tonight, she saw them again. She had tried to call an Uber, but her phone battery died at 2%. So she boarded the last bus and met those haunted eyes in the driver's mirror. At the back of the bus, half hidden by rain streaks, was a silver decal of a raven with outstretched wings. It looked almost identical to the charm on Emily's wrist. The bus jolted hard. Hank slammed the brakes at a flooded pothole. Emily clutched her stomach. "You okay, sweetheart?" an older woman asked kindly. Hank's eyes caught hers in the mirror. "Ticket? Monthly pass? No? Loose change?" Emily fumbled with soaked bills, apologizing. Hank's jaw locked. "No money, no ride. Rules." The young man smirked from the back. "Maybe she's faking the belly to ride free." A cruel question. Could it be? Hank's eyes flickered when Emily blinked rapidly, breath short, her hands trembling on her belly. But he turned away, knuckles white on the wheel. The radio beeped. "Collapse at the depot! AED needed immediately!" a voice crackled. Hank froze. His throat tightened. "Let her sit," the older woman pleaded. "No," Hank snapped. "I need to turn back. Everyone off at the next stop." "Can't you see she's in labor?" "I see it," his voice cracked. "But I can't." He broke off. The bus pulled to the curb, doors hissed open. Wind and rain sliced inside. The young man shoved his phone toward Emily's face. She stepped down, shaking. Then Scout bounded from the shadows, barking once, planting himself in front of Emily like a shield. His collar glistened. Scout. The older woman whispered, "I thought this was a small argument, but maybe it's not." Emily collapsed to her knees. A contraction tore through her. "She's in labor," the older woman shouted. The young man lowered his phone, startled, as Scout growled protectively. Hank rushed out, drenched. "You need a hospital." "I know, but there's no car, no Uber." Hank stared down the dark highway. No taxis, no sirens. Only rain. "What do we do? A life, a child's life," the older woman cried. Then, engines. Loud, growing. Headlights blazed through the storm. A biker gang appeared, jackets marked with silver ravens. They lined up like a wall of steel. The leader removed his helmet. Tall, strong, piercing blue eyes. Name's Cole, Ravens of Mercy. "You're Emily Carter, right?" Emily froze. She remembered him. The quiet man who sat in the diner corner, always ordered apple pie. Once left a napkin sketch of a raven. One question burned. How did he know her name? Cole knelt beside Emily. Scout pressed close, tail wagging. "We're a volunteer biker unit. We escort people in crisis. Someone sent a raven alert from here." He pointed at the decal on the bus. "That sticker is a beacon. If a driver triggers it, we come." Gasps. They weren't here by chance. Someone had called them. The older woman glared at Hank. He looked away, trembling. Cole draped a poncho over Emily. "Ambulances are stuck, but we can cut through." They rolled forward a trike with a sheltered sidecar. Scout leapt in first, curling against Emily's legs like a pillow. "But how do you know her name?" the older woman demanded. Cole's eyes softened. "Because I knew Luke." Emily's breath caught. Cole spoke over the storm. "The night of the tunnel fire, my crew blocked traffic for the engines. Luke was the last man inside. I couldn't save him. But before he went back, he gave me this." Cole pulled out a silver raven charm, identical to Emily's. He said, "If you ever find my wife, make sure she gets home safe." I looked for you, never found you. Until one night, a dog walked into our hall carrying a towel embroidered with an E, smelling of apple pie. Scout led me to your diner. From then on, we watched your night shifts quietly. Emily sobbed, stroking Scout's soaked fur. The dog licked her hand, loyal eyes steady. The older woman turned to Hank. "See, she's not faking anything." Hank's lips trembled. "I know. I was the one who triggered the Raven alert." Everyone froze. Hank whispered, rain dripping like tears. 2 years ago, in that fire, I was the bus driver trapped inside the tunnel. I froze. My radio call was late. Luke saved 3 people, but not himself. I've lived with that guilt since. This yellow band, it's my reminder. Tonight, when I saw her blinking, gasping, I recognized it. My late wife had preeclampsia. I panicked. I yelled. I forced her out because I needed to turn the bus back for the AED at the depot. I was terrified of losing another life. And I hit the Raven alert. I'm sorry. The puzzle pieces clicked. The trembling hands, the radio, the decal, The raven charms, Scout's arrival. Aha! Cole gripped his shoulder. Luke wouldn't want you chained to that night. Tonight you lead. Drive ahead. We'll shield you. Together, we'll bring her in. Hank nodded, tears mixing with rain. Hank's bus blazed its hazards, plowing forward like an icebreaker in a storm. The bikers spread wide, headlights forming a brilliant arrow. Scout pressed warm against Emily. The older woman held her hand. The young man tucked his phone away, muttering, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have filmed." They cut through 3 intersections, 4 flooded dips. Cars pulled aside, understanding. This was no ordinary convoy. Through the blurred window, Emily imagined Luke, firefighter's coat soaked, smiling. "Go, I'm here." Another contraction, fierce. The older woman counted her breaths. Cole shouted, "5 more minutes, Emily. Hold on." Emergency doors swung wide. Doctors and nurses waited. Cole had called ahead. Hank braked hard, leapt down with an umbrella. Bikers fanned out, shielding from rain. Scout padded alongside. Emily clutched Cole's hand. "Tell Luke. Tell him I made it." Cole nodded. He knows. 30 minutes later, a cry filled the room. A healthy baby girl. "Both mother and child are safe," the doctor smiled. Tears streamed down Emily's face. "Her name is Hope," the older woman whispered. "Give her a middle name." Emily looked at the bikers waiting under the rain. Silver ravens gleaming. Hope Raven. Scout sneezed, tail wagging. Morning broke clear. Sunlight shimmered on wet pavement. The bikers' motorcycles gleamed outside. A photo was taken. Emily cradling Hope Raven, standing with the older woman, Hank, Cole, Scout, and the Ravens of Mercy. Hank lowered his cap. "Thank you for letting me make it right." Cole smiled. Not all bikers are just noise and leather. Sometimes we're just ordinary people, making extraordinary choices. To stand up when someone needs us most. The story spread across town. The young man posted his video, but only the escort, not the cruel beginning. "People should see the right part," he said. And the right part traveled far. Strangers clearing roads, bikers shielding, a bus leading, all for one small life. The lesson? Don't judge from one moment. Sometimes anger hides fear. Sometimes roaring engines carry kindness. And sometimes a dog like Scout arrives exactly when needed. Emily kissed her baby's forehead. "You came to me in the storm, but you are my sunshine." Hank tightened his yellow band, not as guilt, but as redemption. Cole patted Scout's head. "Same shift tonight, buddy?" The dog wagged his tail. And so, another Raven alert had been answered.